There is none shut up or left. And he shall say, where are their gods? What is religion that you believe in? Because they all got some type of God. You got Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. Nimrod represents the sun, you got the sun, you got the moon, stars, and so forth. Representing Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz, their son. So you're going to say, where are their gods? Their rock in whom they trusted. When this go down, you know, it's like, think about it, people dying, their loved ones not even there because they got this virus. I see the nurse say they say they dying left and right. They dying left and right. So they going to one patient, they gone. Poof, putting the sheet over them, going to the next patient, trying to help them. Poof. Now they got a thing, they saying a certain thing was Michigan. They said it was like a doctor determined whether or not you're going to remain on the ventilator or not. If you seem like you're going to die, I'll take him out. Give it to somebody that's coming in there that they feel will need it more. They determine who lives and who don't. That's what it's coming down to. It's the power of the Most High, y'all. The pestilence of the Most High. You're going to say, where are they gods? Who they calling on now? Who y'all calling on to take away this plague? Take away this pestilence? If you don't know him. And we really need to be humbling ourselves before the Most High, fasting and praying, crying to the Most High. They don't hit home. Because when it hit home, then you get your attention. But since it ain't hit home, everybody's like, oh, this ain't real. But once he hits someone that you know that's right close to you, I did a lesson on that. Most High got Israel attention by death or through death. Whole series on that. And that's what's happening now, but we just like want to be closed-minded to it. But it's happening. Well, we got to pray for our people. You can't pray and be prideful. You got to be humble. And with a broken, contrite spirit, if you really love Yahshua, Most High said, I love Jacob. He loved us. But we don't love each other enough to make sure that we go to the throne of the Most High, Ba'al Mashiach Yahushua, to ask him to not visit us during these trying times. He said, and they shall say, and he shall say, Most High gonna say what? Where are their gods? Where are their gods at now? Their rock in whom they trusted. This is serious. Which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings. Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. You know what he's saying? Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. Put that shield around you that he could put around you that can't nobody penetrate. Or no entity. But he's saying, hey, you don't have that. You believe in something else. You haven't been following his laws, statutes, and commandments. You ain't been looking at what's right from wrong in his eyes. You're following man, the precepts of man. A lot of you following a man. Your preacher, your priest, your minister, whoever. That's why he says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. He said, I kill. Who's acknowledging the fact that the Most High killing everybody? Who? Name them. Turn on your television for whatever state you want to go, whatever city you want to go to, that they acknowledge the Most High put them to death. Who? So I say they don't know the Most High. They don't know who it is that we talking about in this Bible. Through the Spirit of the Most High. It says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill. Hear that? I kill. That's the Most High said, I kill and make alive. This is what he does. I wound, and this is people being wounded. And let me say, they saying that don't take Advil, don't take Aleve, don't take ibuprofen. So that makes the virus 10 times more effective going into pneumonia like that. People dying. Most of the people they say that's dying, when they looked into their blood cells, they had those particular drugs in them. Don't take Advil or leave. You better watch what you take, period, at this time. Ibuprofen. Most High said, I wound and I heal. So anyone that's being healed, the Most High healed them. Somebody died, the Most High said, I kill. I kill. That's the Most High kill. He wound. We wound when you get it. That's a wound. Or whatever happens to you. He the one did it. People acknowledge that. Oh, it's something that happened haphazardly, or they'll say it's in my family. Just because it's in your family don't mean that you have to have the same thing happen to you. He said, hey, Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2. Look. Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, hear what he's saying, to observe, meaning you reading this, you going over these laws, and do. Not only looking at it, you got to do. It's an action. Do is an action word. All his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken, listen, unto the voice of the Most High thy power, and do all his commandments, as he told us in verse 1, right? Verse 15. Deuteronomy 28, 15. But, was a condition, if it shall come to pass, and it has come to pass, if thou shalt not hearken, meaning listen, unto the voice of the Most High thy power, which is the word of the Most High, which is the angel of the Most High here, dealing with Moses, the Spirit of the Most High, Hamashiach Yahushua, who y'all know as Jesus Christ, as an angel, as the Spirit of the Most High. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. That's what we're looking at right here. These curses that will come upon us and overtake us, man. And this is what's happening to us. But see, we looking at, oh, I'm holier than thou. Can't happen to me. It can't happen to me. You better think again. That's why I showed you what he displeased him, the bruise of Mashiach Yahushua, his only begotten son. For wicked us, wretched us, minstrel cloth us, filthy rags us, what he called us. The ones he abhorred, one time or another. And how do we feel about us now? And we following the way to other heathens. That's why I say, hey, you gonna learn the way of the heathens? You gonna be like them? That's why he say, hey, verse 37 of Deuteronomy 32, second chapter, and he shall say, where are their gods? Where your idols that you believe in? Their rock in whom they trusted. Say, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. Because you ain't following the righteous way of the Most High, what else do you have to go by? Except for your gods that you believe in. That's not him. That's not the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. A power to have, he said, pure woolly hair. Hamashiach said, Philip asked him, hey, show us the Father, it suffices us. He said, hey, how long have I been with you, Philip? Have thou not known me? He that have seen me, have seen the Father. And we know Hamashiach had feet like a defined brass, and burned in the furnace, had woolly hair, nappy hair. Mosiah had pure nappy hair, pure woolly hair. Is that what you see? Or do you see some other image in your mind? Or do you have any kind of image in your mind? Through telephony, that's what he showed us. Because both sides are invisible power. But if he's showing us, if he would come as a man, or we could see him as a man, that's how he would look. Like Mashiach Yahushua said. You know? So, it is what it is. Very, very dark-skinned man. What they call blue-black. Y'all can't imagine that because you looking at what you see on the earth now. A lot of y'all following the precepts of men. And they set up to send you straight to hell with them. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I'll make alive. Anybody die, the Most High say, I killed them. Anybody come into this world, babies, or anyone die on the operating table or whatever, and come back, the Most High say, I'll make alive. I wound, anybody wounded, anybody sick, anybody wounded, he said, I wound and I heal. The ones that's been healed, the Most High healed them. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. That's serious. So ain't nobody can lift out of his hand. That's why Mashiach Yahushua told us, go to hold that. Good John, the 10th chapter. St. John, the 10th chapter. Let's see what the Mashiach Yahushua told us. His only begotten son. Listen to what he said. St. John 10 and verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Says sheep hear his voice, and he know them, and they follow him. And I give it to them eternal life. Not everybody. Those that follow my Mashiach Yahushua, I give unto them eternal life. And they shall never perish. She's never going to perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father, which gave them me. So the Most High got to give you to a Mashiach Yahushua. How he's going to give you to a Mashiach Yahushua when you don't even know him? You ain't talking about him. So how you know him? People ain't talking about the Most High. They ain't talking about Yahweh. They ain't talking about whatever name you use for your God. You ain't talking about him. Y'all, I listen. Here. Everything else, I don't hear nothing about the Most High. He ain't even existing in these times with a lot of you. He said, my Father which gave them me, verse 29, is greater than all. Greater than everybody, everything, every entity. And no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. Hear that? When you're a sheep of a Mashiach Yahushua, ain't nobody able to pluck you out of his hand because ain't nobody able to pluck you out of the Most High hand who gave us to a Mashiach Yahushua. He said, I and my Father are one. They agree. He's not going to go against the Most High. And those in this day and time that go against him is foolish. Don't really believe in him. Don't know him for sure. Deuteronomy 32, verse 41. He said, if I whet my glittering sword, what's I got a shiny sword? What's a sword used for? To kill people. And mine hand take hold on judgment. We just read about how he gonna sit on my second side to judge and make war. His hand gonna take on judgment. And he gonna put all of my second side's enemies under his feet. As it is written. David knew, Psalms 110 and 1. The Most High said unto my power, Mashiach Yahushua, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. So Mashiach Yahushua got enemies. The Most High got enemies. Listen, verse 41. If I whet my glittering sword and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies. Hear that? Vengeance to his enemies. And will reward them that hate me. See, look. Psalms 83rd chapter. Keep not thou silent. Verse 1. O Most High, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thine enemies make a turmoil. They make an uproar. And they that hate thee. What'd he say? I will render vengeance to mine enemies. Deuteronomy 32:41. I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me. That's the enemies and those that hate them. Who are they? Psalms 83rd chapter. Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies. So the Most High, Edom Shai have enemies. For lo, thine enemies make a turmoil. They make an uproar. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. That's in pride. So you see enemies and they that hate the Most High have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They take crafty counsel against the Most High's people. We, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who more hidden than us? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. The name of Israel, the Israelites, is not in remembrance. Took us away from our nationality, our inheritance, who we are, telling us we Africans, and we everything but what we are, the children of Israel. The name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They all in agreement with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They are confederate against the Most High. Are y'all looking at this? You believe this? He said, hey, Deuteronomy 32:41, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward them that hate me. Now he's going to name them. In Psalms 83:6, the tabernacles of Edom, representing the Caucasians, indigenous, all indigenous, and the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, of Moab, the Chinese, of the Hagarenes, Africans, Gibal, another tribe of the Arabs, and Ammon, Japanese, and Amalek. Amalek represents the Jewish people today. Edomite, Jewish people, or so-called Caucasian Jewish people. The Philistines, Moabicans, and the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur, Assyrians, also is joined with them. See? The enemies and the haters of the Most High. What did he say he's going to do? He said in Deuteronomy 32:41, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward them that hate me. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revengers upon the enemy. Hear that? Upon the enemy. He's making it clear. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, the 12 tribes of Israel. For he will avenge the blood of his servants. You hear that? He will revenge the blood of his servants. Who the servants? Anybody that call on the name of the Lord? Did y'all teach? No. The Bible don't teach that. But it answers itself. To define who the servants are, in Isaiah 44:21. Remove these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. See? The Israelites are the servants of the Most High. That's who he's talking to. And about. Deuteronomy 32:43. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people. They're not doing this. For he will avenge the blood of his servants. The 12, he going to revenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries. He gonna render vengeance to his adversaries, his enemies, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people. The Most High said in Isaiah 14:1, show me where the Most High said he going to have mercy on anyone else besides here. Isaiah 14:1, for the Most High will have mercy on Jacob. Hear that? Jacob been the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel and will yet choose Israel. That's it. No one else but the Israelites. But see, people think they done created their own power, and a lot of you probably don't like even this lesson, but you got to take it over to Most High. Because I'm going to give him all the praise and glory according to what he has to say here in his word. Deuteronomy 7:10. And repayeth them that hate him. We done read the nations that hate him. Nations. And repayeth them that hate him to their face. To their face. To destroy them. I didn't write it. And repayeth them that hate him to their face. To destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. You know that's a brother. I'm going to get right in his face. Repayeth them that hate him to their face. To destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. That's what he's saying. Understand this, overstand this, people. It's real. Let's look at some examples. Let's look at some examples. Go to Jeremiah, 50th chapter. Like I said, we're going to go through a few prophecies here. That's prophecy from what he just said. Let's look at Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. And let's look at verse 8. Jeremiah 50, no, verse 9. Say, for lo, verse 9, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. I believe Russia's in the north country. But there's going to be nations joined with Russia when you read Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Future prophecy. And they shall set themselves in array against her. Against her. This Babylon is talking about America. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, these missiles that they have now, shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. You hear that? None shall return in vain. These missiles, when they shot into the ends of the earth, they're not going to return. They're not going to return in vain, as it says. Understand this, overstand this. Look. Go to just a moment, let me find it. Deep. Let me read that again. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, which represents America, an assembly of great nations from the north country. Remember, say he He gonna deal with them face to face. He said, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. All these nations are going to be in array, in war, like with their ordinances, ready for war against America. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, this is missiles, shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain, he's saying. None shall return in vain. Whew. That you know that when they shoot these arrows, they're not going to return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoilers shall be satisfied, said the Most High. And they're going to take whatever they can get. Spoil me, they're going to be robbed. They're going to be robbed. Because you were glad. Because you rejoiced. Ye destroyers of mine heritage, which is the Most High's chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel, destroyers of his heritage, because ye are grown fat. I guess you would grow fat. 400 and something years of slavery without putting out any money for labor and nothing given for free labor. People talking about reparations. Don't be no reparations. No reparations coming to Israel. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, and you destroyers of mine heritage, destroyers of the Most High's heritage, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, because ye have grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. That's why Wisdom of Solomon 5:1 says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be filled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for. But he's saying, look, jump down to verse 20. His severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword. Remember he said when he sharpened his glittering sword, his severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword. It's gonna be glittering, shining. And the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts, here it says arrows, but we know the thunderbolts and them arrows, these missiles. That's all we can think of at this time. They said his right aiming thunderbolts shall go abroad. As he said, he's going to send them abroad from these nations. And from the clouds, hear that? From the clouds, up in the air. As from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. You know, a bow and arrow, you pull it back, say, and you shoot at a target, so they fly to the mark. We already know the mark. You're just telling us. In Jeremiah 50th chapter. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them. You're going to use hailstones? The sea going to raise up against them? But you remember, the Most High not going to kill everybody by water. You're going to use fire. But he's saying the water of the sea shall raise against them. How you going to fight this? and the floods shall cruelly drown them. You just see to raise up and drown people. Yeah, a mighty wind, that's nuclear destruction that we can think of now. Yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Hear that? Mighty wind gonna stand up against them, like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealings shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Hear that? Ill dealings to them, to the ones that's ruling. Thrones of the mighty is saying. Going back to Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. Verse 11 again. Because ye were glad, because you rejoiced. And ye destroyers of mine heritage, O you destroyers of the 12 tribes of Israel. Just a moment.